You ever see a full-grown woman sprinting down the street, shrieking like a banshee, swatting at thin air while a cloud of bees chases her like she owes them money? Because let me tell you, on Maplewood Drive, I watched it with my own two eyes last Tuesday, and I gotta admit it was the most satisfying thing I'd seen in years. Karma, folks, doesn't always come slow. Sometimes it comes with wings and a mean little stinger. A few weeks back, my life was simple: quiet evenings, neat lawns, and the gentle hum of my backyard beehives. That's the peace I carved out for myself after 20 years as a paramedic. You see a lot on the job, enough to know peace is precious and life can turn on a dime. I wanted a place where the loudest noise was a lawnmower or maybe the bees working overtime. I'd picked up beekeeping after my doctor told me to find a calming hobby. Guess I overachieved because those bees became my therapy and my teachers. They work hard, keep their noses out of drama, and protect their own. The way they organize their hive, you'd think they could run Congress better than most politicians. My wife Diane put up with the hobby, even though she said my beekeeping suit made me look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Every Sunday, I'd bring her honeycomb for her toast, and she'd roll her eyes, pretending not to love it. For 5 years, life on Maplewood Grove was picture perfect. White fences, clean driveways, neighbors who waved but didn't pry, and just enough rules to keep the weeds down and the parties over by 10. Then she showed up. Karen Whitfield. She moved into the old Parsons place, 3 houses down, and somehow crowned herself queen of the HOA before the moving truck even cooled off. She printed out her own version of the HOA rules and went door to door with a clipboard, sunglasses bigger than her ego, peering over hedges and peeking into mailboxes. I met her the first time while checking a hive. She just stomped up my driveway like she owned the place. "Are you aware you're keeping dangerous insects this close to people's homes?" she snapped. I just grinned behind my mesh veil. "Bees, ma'am. Harmless unless someone pokes the hive," she fired back. "They could sting a child." "There aren't any kids on this street, Karen," I said, and her jaw nearly hit the sidewalk. "It's Mrs. Whitfield, and I'll be bringing this up at the next HOA meeting." I just shrugged. "I'll bring honey." She spun around and marched off, looking for someone else's parade to rain on. Honestly, I should have known she'd be trouble. People like that never let things lie. But for a while life went on. I kept to myself, tended my bees, ordered my gardening gadgets online, and trusted Tony, our mail carrier, to drop packages safely behind the potted fern. Tony's a good guy, ex-Marine, always a smile and a kind word. He never missed a delivery. Then one Monday Diane asked if I'd gotten my Amazon package. Nothing on the porch, nothing in the app, just vanished. Maybe porch pirates, I thought. But then it happened again and again. Always my boxes, never Diane's or the neighbors'. After the 3rd time I checked the security cam, except the plug was cleanly pulled. No struggle, just gone. Someone knew what they were doing. I mentioned it to Paul, my neighbor, a quiet guy but sharp as a tack. "You didn't hear it from me," he whispered. "But I saw Karen take a box off your porch. Said it was for safekeeping." My laugh stuck in my throat. "She took my mail?" Said it was an HOA thing. I could have stormed over and raised hell, but experience has taught me. Never let anger drive the car. Patience, evidence, and a plan go a lot farther. Next day I checked with Pam, the HOA secretary. Sweet lady, always brings cookies to meetings. "Any rules about collecting other people's packages?" I asked. She frowned. "Of course not. Not HOA business." That's when I knew. Karen wasn't following rules, she was making them up. She was using the HOA badge like a license to meddle. That evening, watching my bees work in the gold of sunset, I felt an odd kinship. Bees have hierarchy, sure, but they never steal from each other. They work, they respect, and they fight back only when provoked. Maybe humans could use a few more hives. I told Diane what Paul saw, and she gave me the "please don't do anything stupid, look only wives can deliver." A few days later I watched Karen's routine every morning, same little white dog, same slow walk, eyes scanning every porch. Each time she'd pause by my steps, checking boxes, sometimes carrying one off with a glance over her shoulder. I caught her once, said, "Need help with that, Karen?" She jumped like I'd shot off a firecracker. "Oh, just making sure nobody steals it. Good to know you're volunteering for porch patrol," I replied, all smiles. She didn't smile back. Diane caught my grin that night. That's your plotting face, she said. Just thinking about bees, I lied. But if Karen wanted to keep stealing, she was about to meet a hive that bites back. With nature, not lawyers. Missing box after missing box, I'd had enough. I rigged a new camera with a hidden power line and waited. Sure enough, at 10:42 a.m., Tony dropped off a package. At 11:15, Karen scooped it up like she was collecting evidence for NASA, clipboard and all, no hesitation. I printed the footage, labeled it Package Theft Exhibit A, and texted Karen. Hey, noticed you picked up my delivery today, thanks, but could you drop it back tomorrow? She replied, I only took it for safekeeping. HOA's been getting reports of suspicious activity. You can collect it after the next meeting. I nearly spat out my coffee. The only suspicious activity was her breaking federal law. All in the name of community safety. Diane just shook her head, laughing. She's holding your mail hostage now? Maybe waiting for ransom, I joked. But I wasn't mad, I was inspired. At the next HOA meeting, Karen stood at the podium, preaching about unattended packages as community risks. I raised my hand. Are you authorized to remove mail from private property? This isn't about me, Mr. Turner, she said. It's about the neighborhood. Including when you steal boxes with my name? I replied. Murmurs from the crowd, a few snickers. I was protecting everyone, she snapped. Sure, because when I think safety, I think honey jars and coffee filters hoarded in a garage. That got real laughter. I didn't call the sheriff. Not yet. I wanted Karen to sweat. Let her wonder if every knock was an officer with a warrant for mail theft. But when another package vanished, that was it. Time for science. I built a fake Amazon box, tucked in a GPS tracker and a note. Smile for the camera, Karen. On the outside, fragile, organic wax samples. Next morning, Tony delivered the bait. At 10:15, Karen did her thing. Crouched, grabbed, and retreated. The tracker led straight to her garage. I strolled over, phone in hand. Morning, Karen. Nice day to steal mail. Excuse me. Funny thing. My missing package just pinged inside your garage, she stammered. I was just about to return it. There must have been a mix-up. Addressed to Michael Turner, 302 Maplewood? That's a real coincidence. I could see a pile of my old boxes still sealed. Safeguarding, huh? Sure, and I'm the queen bee. That one broke her. I'll have you fined for harassment, she shrieked. Go ahead, but make sure they spell thief right in the minutes, I said as I walked away. By that evening, Karen called an emergency HOA meeting. This time, accusing me of stalking and illegal tracking. The board predictably wanted the drama to vanish. Misunderstanding, they called it. Translation. Don't rock the boat if the loudest person is happy. That's when I realized. Rules never stop bullies, consequences do. As I watched my bees, calm and lethal when pushed, I hatched the next phase. Karen could write all the HOA rules she wanted, but nature doesn't sign bylaws. So I moved one of my smaller hives onto the porch, planted some lavender, and ordered a new package, left it right beside the hive, label reading organic royal honey, fragile. Next morning, Karen's curiosity overcame her common sense. She marched up, muttering about violations, and reached for the box. The hive buzzed, a warning. She flapped her hand and 3 bees zipped out, circling her head. The sound she made, half shriek, half squawk, set her dog barking and the whole street on alert. Karen ran like she was being chased by the devil himself, waving her arms, bees hot on her heels. From my window, I sipped coffee and murmured, "No, Karen, they're just defending themselves." The video made its way around the neighborhood. That night, an emergency meeting. Bee safety concerns. Karen showed up with a bandaged hand and a neck scarf like she'd survived a war. She claimed vicious bees attacked her on community property. I played the footage. Karen trespassing, grabbing my box, bees responding. The laughter in the room was louder than any buzz. Even Greg, the HOA VP, cracked a smile. "Karen, you can't just remove items from private property," he said. "Maybe the HOA should ban hives," she snapped. "Already tried," I said, flashing my county registration. "State law says my bees stay." After that, Karen declared war. She started taping notices to doors. Effective immediately. No insects or pollinators allowed. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped my coffee. She called animal control, who confirmed the bees were legal, gentle, and even beneficial. She sent out newsletters warning of dangerous infestations. The neighbors ignored her, or started hanging fake bee boxes in solidarity. But Karen wasn't finished. That night I spotted her outside in the dark, creeping toward my hive with a canister in hand. "Diane," I whispered. "I think she's got pesticide." Before I could stop her, she knocked the hive over, and a swarm erupted. Karen never stood a chance. She ran, arms windmilling, bees tangled in her hair, right into her own house. The sheriff showed up, paramedics in tow. "Vandalized county property," he said. "Nature took care of the rest." Karen spent the night nursing her wounds, and the whole neighborhood group chat lit up with the footage. Greg resigned. The board suspended Karen, pending investigation. Her reign was over. Her house went up for sale 2 weeks later. When the moving truck pulled away, she muttered, "You think you've won, don't you?" "No, Karen," I replied. "The neighborhood did." The air felt lighter, neighbors laughed, shared honey, and someone made Honey Owners Association t-shirts as a joke. Real peace settled in, sweet and steady as honey. But here's the twist: about a month later, Diane handed me a shaky handwritten letter. "Michael, I know you think I got what I deserved. Maybe I did. The doctors said I was lucky. I wanted to control everything because everything else in my life was falling apart. You don't have to forgive me. I just wanted you to know I sold the house to pay my bills. Take care of the new folks the way you cared for your hives." Karen. Not quite an apology, but close enough. I left a jar of honey on her old porch for the new family. No note, just a quiet gesture. As summer turned to fall, the bees thrived. Neighborhood kids came by to learn about hives. I taught them. Bees don't sting unless threatened. They protect what's theirs like any good neighbor. One kid asked, "So, bees are like superheroes?" "Exactly, kiddo. Tiny superheroes with wings." Sitting on the porch, Diane teased, "You're the wise old beekeeper now." I smiled. Was aiming for neighborhood menace, but I'll take it. Truth is, I learned something too. Peace isn't isolation. It's defending your corner when someone tries to poison it. Sometimes justice doesn't roar. Sometimes it just hums quietly until the world finally listens. So if you've ever faced a Karen, someone who tries to control every inch of your life, remember. Stay calm, stay kind, and let your hive speak for you. Because one way or another, karma always buzzes. Now I'm curious, have you ever had to stand up to a bully? Or seen karma work in ways nobody expected? Drop your stories below. Let's see whose Karen was worse. And maybe, just maybe, we'll all learn how to keep our hives safe together.